Next question is from Jennifer, although since we're in the South, I think we have to call you Ms. Jennifer. So, all right, Ms. Jennifer asks, I just heard today that our radiation oncology department is going to be taking part in a COVID study. Super cool. Oh my gosh, but radiation oncology, that's weird. Yeah. um, they will be doing radiation treatments on patients with COVID. Yeah. And they're starting with vented patients first, and then we'll move on to unvented patients after that. So, okay, people on ventilators first. What's the science behind radiation therapy as a possible treatment against the virus? Thanks in advance. Hey, sure. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I pulled up a paper in weirdly radiotherapy and oncology, or radiother oncol is the abbreviation, about exactly this. Because at first I thought, what the heck? And after reading this paper, I also still think, I don't know, what the heck. So the big idea here is that, all right, so background, sometimes treatments work by non-intuitive means. Like you can do something that seems like there is no way it's going to directly affect the outcome, and it can still indirectly affect the outcome. I think that's the kind of 3 point shot we're chucking up right here. You got people that are already on ventilators, and you know that this is serious, and something like 20% or something of those will go on to actually die from COVID if you do nothing. And so, question is, can we do something and try to make this better? So this is going back to some really old papers. They were about, I'm not even sure that it says, but it was either bacterial or fungal pneumonia. So same disease, different cause, and caused by a kind of a living thing that is dependent on different stuff to keep going than a virus would be. And so the idea was that you zap the person's chest area with low dose radiation therapy. And I don't know if that means an injection or just like a low dose of radiation. You could do it in different ways and it would still count, I think. And so, yeah, whatever way these people are doing it, I'd be interested to know. But yeah, I'm assuming they know what they're doing, that part. And the idea is that this is going to turn off some parts of the immune system. So we have in some parts of the world people that are pumping hot air into lungs to try to turn on the immune system to clear out the virus. We've got other people that are trying to just randomly zap radiation in with the idea that it can turn off some immune response. Presumably it is damaging and or killing some of the cells that would otherwise be causing the cytokine storm. I think that's the idea. From what this article says, and I'll make sure there's a link to it, there doesn't seem to be a lot of data on this type of therapy and viruses. It's more like therapy for the symptoms rather than therapy that would specifically work against this cause. I suspect it's probably not going to go great, but at the same time, I think it's worth trying stuff like this in a controlled way. I'd just be real surprised if it works. I think the other element there may well be that when all you have is a hammer, the entire world looks like a nail. Have you heard that one? Which is to say that, for example, I really like electron microscopy. And so every time I approach a problem, I'm like, you know what? You know what could really help solve this problem, make it better? A little bit more electron microscopy. Yeah. I wonder if that's the sort of thing that's going on kind of underneath what's here. But it's a thing. There are papers about it. It's just not a thing that's actually demonstrated to work, but it's an experimental therapy. And so they're experimenting, and I'm guessing there may not be any better thing to do right now. I mean, you can take care of patients, but a certain percentage of them are going to die, and that's pretty frustrating, I would imagine. And so I'll bet that's what's behind this. So very curious to hear how it works in the journals or wherever. Yeah. And thanks for bringing that to my attention. I had no idea anybody would want to do this. Thanks very much. This is Ask Dr. Ben.